The off-season drama surrounding Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, well, it's heated up again. You know basketball never stops, and here with me to talk some NBA hoops is True Hoop NBA writer and host of the 7 Footers podcast, Jarod Hector. Jarod, good to see you as always. We had the news earlier this week that KD gave the Nets some more demands, basically telling Nets Governor Joe Tsai that it's either him or head coach Steve Nash and GM Sean Marks. And there's been a lot of talk that this is an ultimatum. But Tsai took to Twitter to back his coaching staff and front office, but couldn't Joe Tsai's response to KD easily have been, or what else?
I mean, for sure, Dex. Look, first of all, a rule of thumb should always be don't be giving people ultimatums. That's just never a good idea, okay? Because it may not end the way you want it to end. That's number one. Number two, what leverage does KD actually have to flex here? Beyond being the generational superstar, we understand that. But my guy, you were under contract for 4 seasons. Like, I don't have to do anything, right? And the other piece about this is that Durant, he is saying, get rid of Nash, get rid of Sean Marks. But you okayed Steve Nash being the head coach here. You okayed most of the moves that Marks did. Matter of fact, you probably pushed him to make those moves. So this really isn't painting him in a positive light right now.
Yeah, and when we talk about that, about him being painted in a positive light or not, I think with these recent demands, Jarod, from KD, it's fair to ask, well, what is the Brooklyn superstar searching for here?
That's the thing. If I had the answer to that, man, I'd be in a whole different line of work. Look, KD, as I said before, generational talent. I think the best player in the world, one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen, for sure. Maybe not in terms of resume and accomplishments, but top 10 in terms of pure ability, bar none. But he has what we call a wandering spirit, right? And for whatever reason, there are things out there that he's looking for. Now, to be fair to him, the last 2 times he left his destinations, he was well within his right to do so. His contract had ended, and he's like, all right, I'm going to look for something else. Now, though, you signed an extension last year for 4 more years. You're now trying to be out before year 1 even kicks in. That is the poor look. What is he looking for? I don't know. But without playing psychiatrist, which I'm not, there needs to be something in his life outside of basketball that he enjoys. I don't know what it is, but he's got to find it and find some centeredness and peace with something else.
Interesting thoughts there for sure. Now, lastly, Jarod, training camp's approaching. It's next month. So will KD even be there for training camp? Does he get moved? How do you see this whole situation with KD and the Nets playing out?
I mean, it's difficult right now. If you'd asked me a month ago, I'd have been like, man, he's going to be there come September because that's the deal. But if you're Joe Tsai and you're backing Nash and Marks, do you want to have that awkward environment at training camp next month? Not to mention his BFF, Mr. Kyrie Irving, right? Mr. Third Eye, keep your third eye open, Kyrie Irving. That seems like a recipe for an awkward at best, disastrous at worst situation. So maybe you say, you know what? Both of you guys stay home. We'll keep paying you until we move you because we can't have you around the team right now.
Ooh, I'm not sure Nets fans want to hear that. I'm not sure that's not what they want to see happen at training camp.
Of course, it's not what they want to see. Look, this team should run it back with who they have, and they'd be in the mix to contend. And by the way, these are all moves that Durant okayed. So this mess is largely your making. And now you're like, I decided I don't want this anymore. I'm out of here. It's like, again, this is a bad look. And someone who loves ball as much as Durant, I said this before, if you're Tsai, hold his feet to the fire. Okay, you're going to sit out? I dare you to sit out for 4 years. Because here's the thing. I would hate to lose you now at 34 for pennies on the dollar, but losing you at 38 when you're not going to be anywhere near as good as you are now for nothing, I'm cool with that.
It's going to be interesting to see, Jarod, how this all plays out. Indeed, that is Jarod Hector, NBA writer for True Hoop, also co-host of the 7 Footers podcast. Jarod, always good to talk hoops with you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, man.